Hello, my name is Rosanamod, and welcome to the rosanamod podcast. Want to modify your life? That is corny, but I'm going to keep it in there. This variety show brainstorms solutions for everyday challenges, unlocks your secret potential, think outside the box with creative ideas that improve your business and your life. Get inspired with special guests, get motivated with how-to projects for the whole family, and learn that life is too short for anything less than being happy. Laugh with me or at me, it doesn't matter. Somebody's going to laugh. Welcome to the Rosanamod Variety Pod. This is your vessel and host, Rosanamod, aka Rosanamod, episode 86, 86. And today is Wednesday Works, or business, Wednesday business, whatever. Today I want to talk to you about something that I did. Is it worth it to replace the cell phone screen by yourself? Or is it better to get a phone, another phone? It depends. It depends on how handy you are, how good you are with tiny little parts. If you're a jewelry maker like me, or if you're used to soldering things, not that you'll need to solder things, but if you're used to that kind of work and manual dexterity, if you have that, if you are, good with tiny little tools and you're patient and you're brave enough to try it, then yeah. If not, then just buy yourself another phone. But for me, I am pretty good with those kind of things, and I just figured I could do it. I looked online, YouTube, University of YouTube, of course, has everything you need. And what you need to find for sure, the first thing I would advise you is to know the phone that you have. There's a big difference between Apple and Samsung or Android. There's a big difference on the inside components. I think Apple makes it a little easier when you open it up. And compared to a Samsung, which is what I have, the components on the inside are very different. Now, my screen completely stopped working. It was black, and I couldn't understand what happened to it. I just thought, obviously, there's something wrong with the inside of the phone. And so I went online and I started looking to see what it looks like on the inside of the phone. And good for me that I had an old Samsung phone that I kept in that box of plugs that I have from last episode that I talked about. And I opened it up, which is tricky in itself. I'll explain that in a second. And when I looked inside, I noticed that the top part of the phone had all of the components, and the bottom part, where the battery is in the back, didn't. So if you're looking at the screen in your phone right now and you're holding it in front of you, the top part is where all the components are, the little circuit board. Like a little circuit board, but it's on a thin piece of paper. So if you can imagine that thin piece of paper with little circuit boards on it, that's what you're dealing with. So when you want to open up the phone, you have to be very, very careful. I did it with the old phone that wasn't working at all, just to see what it looked like, to get an idea. And I followed the directions that were on the YouTube channels. There's different channels. I don't want to give one away because there were many that I looked at until I found, a little bit from each. I took a little bit from each. They would put a playing card inside to separate the screen from the phone. The only thing that separates the screen from the phone is glue. And in order to, if you're used to working with materials like me, or you're used to, creating things like me, you will know that glue melts, right, with heat. So you get a heat gun and you heat it up. Now, I didn't have a heat gun, so I used one of those. This is going to sound crazy to some of you. I used one of those lighters that you use for barbecue. So I didn't get it like that close, but I just got it close enough to the screen to where I was just heating it. And I didn't have any playing cards, so I used a business card. And a business card is pretty thick, the one that I have anyway. And I kind of just put it in there little by little. As I loosened up the glue, the screen opened up. I mean, you have to be very careful because there's a part in there that holds the screen to the phone. And that little piece is got, tiny little circuits on it So you have to be careful not to break it. It's very easy to break. Once it's broken, it's going to be almost impossible to fix unless you take a little piece of tape on each side or something. It's a mess. You don't want to do it. So just be very careful. If I would suggest anything to you and you wanted to try it to see if this was worth it, I would say go to like a thrift store or something and buy an old phone, if they have any, I don't know, or get an old phone that doesn't work anymore and see if you could mess around with it and open it yourself and see what it looks like on the inside. Because when you go online, I went on Amazon and I bought the screen replacement. So it's called screen replacement for Samsung. Okay, the screen will come with the little components that you need to switch out. So once you take out the old screen, you're going to replace the new screen. It's a little bit complicated, but it's not really that complicated. At least not for me. For you guys listening, you're probably thinking that's crazy. But you know what? Now that I did it once, it saved, I guess maybe I had the phone for an extra year with the new screen. So I guess if you have a cracked screen, this would be good for you. If, I didn't have a cracked screen, it's just that I had a black screen. So I had to replace the whole screen because I knew that it had the components in the phone, and that's what I needed. And as soon as I replaced it, it started working. And I have to find actually the video because I did video myself doing this. So I have to find that video and put it out somewhere. I was going to put it on YouTube, but I don't know what happened with that. I guess I will have to. So these are the things that you need to remember. Go on YouTube and look for your brand name phone. If it's an Apple, a Samsung, or whatever it is that you have, just an LG, whatever, just put it in there because every phone is different. Then you're going to put, for search, you're going to put screen replacement. Also, keep in mind that on Amazon, they have screen replacement kits, which come with tiny little screwdrivers that you can use to take out the little screws. I didn't buy any of these things. I used what I had. And because I make jewelry, I have these little tools. I used actually the front of an X-Acto knife to open up these little screws, in the back that I needed to get in there. But all you have to do is look for that. Once you get that, you're good. Connector damage is very easy to do because if you break it by putting the card in there and sliding the card inside, it's very easy to cut that little, it's like a flimsy little piece of paper almost. That's the best way I could describe it, that connects the connector to the phone screen. Very easy to break. You have to be very careful. Another thing to keep in mind is 2/3 of the phone on the top part to the bottom of the phone. If you're looking at it in the front view, it's 2/3 of the phone is where you want to separate. You don't want to go any further up. So it's 2/3 of the way up. Okay, to separate the screen from the phone. You put the card in there and then you kind of slide up 2/3 of the way. If you go further than that, you're going to have damage of the connector and damage of those little circuit boards that are on that piece of paper. All right, so when you go in, what I did on Amazon when I replaced the screen, they didn't have the color screen that matched my phone. I had a gold phone and this was a blue screen. Don't pay attention to that. I didn't, because I knew that the cover that was going to go on the phone was going to cover the color of the blue. So you couldn't even tell. If you don't have a cover on it, then you could see that it's blue and gold. I didn't even care. I just got the best deal and I just replaced it with the blue screen. I mean the blue for a blue phone. So it's like that little edge around the screen. Once I put the cover on it, the black cover, you weren't able to even see the gold on the phone. So it doesn't really matter. So just pay attention to that too. Get your best deal and always look for your reviews, So really, is it worth it? Yes, it is. It's worth it for me. I told you I gave it another year of life and I didn't even spend more than $25 on the screen replacement. So it was cost about $25. But I looked online this morning and I saw on Amazon they have a lot of them for about $15, $17 for these screens. And they're pretty cheap. But like I said, and if you don't trust yourself and you think that's a good deal, buy two, just in case you break one. Because you can easily break those circuit connectors. They're really easy to break. So that's it. I hope that helped. I have an update. And as far as, you know what, let me elongate this just a little bit. As far as me being on live Instagram, I'm going to be doing that soon. I'm just looking for some type of subject to actually get on. I don't want to, repeat the ones that I've already done. So I'm going to do that. I also listed, another update is I also listed 11 items on my Amazon Handmade shop. The URL link is on the bottom of the show notes. You can look in there and see the 11. I'm going to add more this week, but, so far I only have 11 on there. But I have so much more to list. It's crazy. And also, if you're interested in vintage jewelry, I am selling them on eBay. I will be adding some extra vintage items on that same place. It's rosanamod on eBay, but it's not a store. It's just that's my username. I'm not sure how you look up usernames on eBay. I wonder if you could look them up. I'm not really sure. Oh, there is something else I wanted to say. Yesterday's episode 85. Okay. I don't know how I did this, but I was putting my makeup on while I was doing my show, and I didn't realize that it was going to make any kind of a sound. So after I listened to it, I heard this noise like this. I don't know if you could hear it. Okay. And I don't know why it didn't click. I was like, what's that noise? I thought maybe it was, I don't know what I thought it was. I wasn't paying attention to it, and I just thought, it's okay. It doesn't sound that bad. And then I realized what it was. I was putting my makeup on. I'm sorry. So I apologize for the extra sounds that you might have heard in the background. Hopefully my intoxicating voice made you completely ignore that. So who knows? Ooh. Anyway. All right. So that's it. That's all I have for you today. It's Wednesday. It's another day. Another chance to do good and help someone. If you help one person a day, if everybody helps one person a day, think about that. Think about how great the world would be, or how much better it would be anyway. And by helping, I mean in any way that you can, like financially helping, or just reaching out, or listening, or, confiding in them, or I don't know, advising them, maybe giving them your expertise, talking to them if you feel like they need, to have a friend or something. How nice would that be? One person a day, right? So I think every day I challenge myself to help at least one person a day. I'm good when I come home. Hopefully these things are helping you. Then I'm doing pretty good too, right? All right. Well, anyway, on that note, if you like the show, here's your chance to help me. Wow, what a segue. Here's your chance to help me. There's a link below for PayPal, and that is to support the show. It's like Patreon, except you don't get anything except hear me talk. And also, that's a terrible thing to say, but it's the truth. It's not a Patreon page. So what I am going to do, though, just so you know, when I hit my 100th episode, I'm going to have a surprise for you guys. So you might want to help out, because that's going to go towards this 100th episode. So that's all. If you want to do this and you feel like you want to be a podcaster and you think this is interesting, like, can I talk to myself all day? Do I talk to myself in my car all the time? Then this is probably for you. Invest in a microphone and click on the below the show notes. You will see a Buzzsprout link. Click on that and follow the steps like I did. Simple as that. Buzzsprout makes it easy. They give you your own free website, and you can see where you're being listened to all over the world, which I am being listened to all over the world. And I'm really in love with this podcast. I love it. I love it. And I have so many ideas to share with you guys still. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for being a part of my show, and thank you for your time. And you don't have to give it to me, but I'm really, really appreciative. I really am. So big kiss, big hug. Look at that. You upgraded yourselves again. God bless you. And what do we say?